Hey everybody, it's Miriam here at the Paper Wheel Studio. Today I am making paper flowers. I saw this on Pinterest and kind of obviously did my own thing here. But I made these little book page flowers and I'm going to show you how I've done this. They are very simple to make. And let's get crafting. So we'll lay that one up there. That is the one I made in advance. And to do this, I have a bunch of punched out book pages. My circles are, my glue stick getting in the way here. They are 1.5 inches. I also brought along these vellum circles, and they are 1 3/4 inches. So what you do to make this, it's a very simple process. So let me show you. You have your little circle, and what you want to do is simply fold in your edges of your circle. The exact amounts do not matter as long as you create yourself a little point here. And you don't want your two sides to overlap, but you just want to fold that in and create a little point like that. Okay? Flowers aren't perfect, so if it doesn't exactly match, that's just fine. And I add a little dab of glue here, just enough to hold my petal over. You could do that, but I found that when I tried to, or you could not skip that, but I found when I tried to do it, it just didn't want to stay in place. So this just keeps that petal in place there if you add just a tiny bit of glue. So I prepared a whole bunch of petals in advance here that I put under my mat. Thought that would save us some time rather than you waiting for me to make the same thing over and over and over again. They're just folded, and I made them into a point here and simply added a little bit of glue to hold them together. It takes 8 petals to make 1 flower. And I have some little round stickers that are 1 inch round. You could use punch cardstock or really anything underneath that will hold it, because it's not going to matter. You're not going to see this. But the circle makes it nice because you can kind of aim for the center with your first one, and which would be about right there. And lay that one down. And then, since mine is sticky and I don't have glue on there, I'm just going to lay the rest of these right around. That's all there is to this. And that creates your flower. So we're going to put that around there. A little chilly to film outside today, so I'm inside. Had a rain last night and it cooled everything down here, so it's only in the 60s, well 50s for now, but it's only supposed to get up into the 60s. Now, these don't have to be perfect in the center because the centers are going to be covered as well. So you just try to get them, as best you can there, and make sure your paper sticks down. If you were gluing, you could just put a little dot of glue on the point and just stick it down like that. But I'm using the stickers to avoid using the glue. I have them, I might as well use them, right? Okay. They're just craft colored stickers that I purchased on Amazon. They came 2 rolls, so I have oodles of them to use up. Here's one of the rolls. Quite a lot of them. So I've been trying to figure out ways to use these in my crafting. Alright, so we'll stick that piece down there. And if they slightly overlap, it's okay. It doesn't matter. Alright, so we're going to put that one in the final piece there. Like that. And then I have some little numbers over here. On my first one, I had just a small circle. This is a 1/2 inch circle. About a 1/2 inch. Yeah, I think so. And I just colored the other one with yellow ink. This one I'm just going to glue down in the center with a number. And with it being book page, I kind of like the idea of having a number in the center. Gives it a little different look. There we go. There's our book page flower. So we got 2 of these now. And depending on the size of your circle as to how big your flowers are going to turn out. I just had a whole bunch of these punched, and it works better for thinner pages. If you try to use cardstock, they're very difficult to fold, so it doesn't work as well. And after I did one of these, I got to thinking, why not ink the edges and see what I come up with? So I have a bunch here that I prepared in advance that I inked the edges on. So let's see. That one's not an inked edge. Let's get my inked edges out here and see what they look like when I get them all put together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and one is hiding under my mat here. Well, I think it ran away. I'll just make another one real quick here. What I did is simply take one of my book pages. I'll use this one that has a lot of ink on, or a lot of writing on it, and I just inked around it like this. Just the one side. You could even, I'm wanting mine to be neutral flowers, but you could also ink these blue, pink, purple, whatever colors you would have. You could ink one side one color, one side the other color. That would look really neat. So just inking my edges, and sorry I'm shaking my camera when I ink, but it's the table that I'm using. I can't help that. All right, so now I'm just going to fold this like we folded all the others. I'm folding it with the ink side out. You can do it the other way around if you wanted. Oh, a lot of glue there, but that's all right. I'm using glue stick because it just sticks quick and fast. All right, so let me get a sticker over here. And I'm just gonna, again, whoops, that one glue didn't hold on that one. So let me add a little more glue there. Since these are gonna be glued on top and the bottom, I'm not too worried about the fact that I'm using just a regular Elmer's glue stick because it will hold. And again, I'm just gonna guesstimate the center, which is about right there. Oh, that one just flipped on over to the other side, so we'll let him go over there. I don't know how that happened. Okay. And you could play around and do it differently, but I'm just gonna go around the circle. Some of these petals are a little bit bigger, but they're still not, might get away with 7 on this flower. I don't know. It really probably wouldn't matter much, I don't think. I tend to fold mine all the same way when I'm folding them, but you could fold them out different directions if you wanted to. It just will give a different look to your flower. And let's see if this one's large enough to fill that spot. Man, I'm going to have to make a little bit room, so I'm going to overlap them slightly, these last several. There we go. And we'll put that one there. And we'll put this one here. And I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the back of this one because I don't have much sticky there. So just going to put a little glue on my point. Yep, like that. Just to hold that point in there. And put that one down like that. And come along with another number and put it in the center. And see how inking that, how it gives it a totally different look. And I didn't bring any colored inks along, but you could definitely color these up with your colored inks. So we have those. Alrighty. And we have that one. There we go. we've made 3, and you could just go on and make as many of these as you want to. I also found these vellum circles that I picked up somewhere, probably too new because that's where I tend to do some shopping. So I'm going to pull 8 of these off, and I'm just going to stick them to my mat for now. I don't know how these will work because they do have stickiness on one side here, so we'll see. Hoping I can use the stickiness to create the flower petals. So let's get 8 off here. And be ready to go, and we'll see what this vellum will turn out to be. You could punch really anything thin to make these, it wouldn't matter. Let's get a few out here and then I'll start folding. Here we go. All right, start with this guy. And I'm just folding these in and pressing it down. And the stickiness is working very well to hold the petals down, so that works good. So I'm going to just fold these in like this. All right. They don't have to be perfect again. You just need 8 of these. So I'm going to make myself 8. And we'll put these together. And there still is some stickiness on the top of these as well, but I'm not going to be too concerned about that because when I go to put them together, I think they'll hold down good. So, using my, they're like little sticky note vellums, but we'll use it to our advantage here. That way you can see what a colored one looks like anyway. Besides, the vellum flower looks pretty cool, I think. All right. There's 3. If you stay, don't pop up. Finding if I press these down real good, they're more likely to stay. So I'm going to really give them good folds here. There we go. There's 3. Not too worried if they pop back up. And number 4. This is something that if you're just sitting watching TV, you could fold a bunch of these petals and then glue them together. And that would work well also. I'm going to fold this the other way. It just seems like there's more glue on this other side that might help that to stay better. Let's try that and see if it works any better. Because those up here are popping up, but when I go to glue them down, I'm not going to be too concerned. So there's 4. We need 4 more. Not cooperating, but we'll make them cooperate in the end. It won't be a problem. We'll have a circle on top, and it'll hold those pages right in there. Let's see, I think I got more than 1 here. How many did I get? Oh, I think I got 3 actually. 1, 2, oops, 2 there. 1, 2, 3. These are quite thin. Maybe I have more than 1 on some of these others. Nope, I don't think so. Some of them just feel a little thinner than others, but maybe. Don't know. I like that they're really thin. I think that's going to make a neat looking flower. That one just didn't quite make a point there, but it'll be okay. See, these don't have to be perfect, but they still go together and make nice looking flowers. Okay, so we got that. And we got 1 more to fold, and then we're going to put these babies together and see how they look. This is just one of those projects where you really don't want to put a lot of thought into it. for the day and you just want to get in your craft room and make something, you can make yourself some little paper flowers. You could use magazine pages, book pages, anything that's a thinner type paper. You could cut circles out of vellum if you get your punch to punch them. If you do, try that. Put paper behind your vellum. That will help quite a bit. All right. So I'm going to stick that down good on my sticker. Go for the next one. And I'm just going to do the same thing all the way around. I'm going to overlap that one just a little bit because I folded my point wrong. So it's not quite going to work there in the center. Which looks like I did out on several of them, but that's okay. It'll still work. You want to aim for getting 4 of your petals on one side of your circle and the other 4 on the other side. Okay, so we got that. Back in here with this. See why I like gluing down my 2 pieces together? I like them to be stuck together, that I don't have to deal with this when I'm putting my petals on the sticker. This way I have to make sure they're pushed down good and mess with them again a time or two. All right, I have 4. I guess I didn't count correctly. Unless I got 2 laying there on top of each other, which I might have. This one didn't get folded all the way, I don't think. And I thought this would be a good one. So if you haven't yet made your Mother's Day card, you can make some paper flowers and create a Mother's Day card with them. Okay. Pushing all these centers down so that when I glue down my top, it'll hold them in place. And with the vellum, some of them might pop back up, but that'll just add to the prettiness of the flower, I think. Okay. Oh, that one, I swear that's 2 there. Sure doesn't act like it wants to be. Now, let's see if I can't get it this time. I think I'll get 2 more because this is so much thicker. Yeah, there we go. That's why I only had 7, because I was trying to fold it. That's probably why it wouldn't stay together too, because it was so thick. Okay, so we got that. Little poppers popping back up here. Stick them down. And when I get the top one, I think will be okay there. All right, got that one in place. That's where using the sticky round circles works well for something like this. We'll push all those in place. And I'm going to grab another number circle here because I like the numbers in the center. Okay, I'll grab another one. How about a number 6? Again, you can punch these out of your centers, can be punched out of cardstock. They don't have to be a thinner paper. You just want something, and when you put it down, make sure all your pieces are folded in. And then you just simply glue it down here in the center to hold them in place. And you want to hold that down and see how it pulls all those petals in. And with the vellum, you get a little bit of dimension to your flower. Make sure that holds very good there. That piece doesn't want to hold. Shame on you for not cooperating. Get it folded the correct way here. Crease these a little more maybe. That always helps to flatten it some. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Now it's cooperating, and it still has a little bit of dimension here, which I like. So there is one made out of vellum. Now, if you get a little crooked until your glue dries, you can come back in and arrange your little flowers so that they are better. You don't have a gap like I got. So I'm just kind of pushing these all over slightly. And since my center hasn't held yet, there we go. Just trying to cover my gap. And because this is just not cooperating today with the glue, there we go. Now it is. I always have glue issues, don't I? Must be my glues. Now, you could come back in with a larger circle if you wanted to put on that. And I'll come back and probably adjust that a bit, but I really don't mind that I have a gap because actual flowers aren't perfect, are they? Oh, I could play with this piece all day, but I'm not going to. There we go. So we ended up making 4 flowers on my video today. We did a vellum flower, and we did 3 book page flowers. Well, we did 2, and I'd already made 1. So you could stamp on plain paper and use just plain copy paper to make these. You could make them out of any print that you wanted, a floral print, plain print, whatever you'd like. And if you try making these flowers, send me a picture and I will add it in so that people can see that on my comments if that's possible. I don't know, could I add a picture to my comments? I'm not sure. Anyway, I'll include it on my Facebook page, Junk Journal with Paper Wheels. If you've not checked that out, I invite you to do so. Please subscribe if you're not already subscribed to my channel. We're getting close to 200 subscribers, and when I get to 500, I'm going to have another giveaway on my channel. So please stay tuned and share my videos, and you all have a wonderful afternoon. Bye for now.